No watch. Okay. So I don't know. It must be 7. I'm here. It must be 7 o'clock on a Monday. It must be 7 o'clock on a Monday. Because you know why? Because it's time. Did you hear it? It's time for the Academy Sports Show. I just got my notification. YouTube just sent me a message. Watch live now. Academy Sports Show. They are live. We are live. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you all for watching as always or listening, however you choose to. There's another one. I love it. I love the notifications. I get all the notifications. That means you got notifications. That means you have no other choice but to tune into the show. All right. Monday Night Football is around the corner. So to get your gears ready for Monday Night Football, why not turn on your favorite podcast, 7 o'clock, pull up a snack, get your ideas and your opinions ready because it's hot take time. All right, so I'm your host, Andre Douglas. Sitting across from me is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joel Williams.
Ooh, we got to be quick today. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody, man. It's a pleasure to be here. It's Monday in the D. And finally, DC, Coleman, what's up, man, out in Vegas, man. Finally, we got, like, fall weather, and there's no football this week. That's it. Oh, man, but, hey, man, it's 62 degrees, 65 degrees here in Detroit, man. It's fall weather finally, man. And unfortunately, our season is over. So we are live. We are in the building. So we welcome everybody to the show. As always, man, like us in the live feed, man. Let us know you're here. Shout out to us, man. Let us know you're there so we can shout you out. Also, make sure you share, click the like button. Make sure you click the bell. Make sure you do all the stuff, man. All the stuff you're supposed to do to let everybody know. 63 here, windy and dusty. Ooh, okay. Vegas got a little funny weather. Perry wants us to remind us we got to refer back to number 8 from last week. We had a little conversation about him. We are prepared to have that discussion, man. A lot ahead today and on this show. Listen, man, we're a show. We say things.
We're a show.
we make our comments. We give our opinions, man. Right now, they replayed the Forest game yesterday on ESPN, showing these highlights from one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. And, yeah, man, listen. I made some comments I know about John Gruden. We had a very good discussion about the situation. And not as soon as we ended our show last week did things really change. So we're going to circle back tonight, man. We're going to talk about it a little bit more, share our thoughts on the John Gruden situation, kind of put a bow on that. Plus, we made some comments about number 8, man. Talked about, the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. And they were on Monday night last week. And for most of that game, they was getting it handled too. They were getting handled. And then number 8, he acted like number 8, man. He acted like that MVP. And so we're going to circle back to that, man. So we got that. Plus, NBA tips off tomorrow night. Dre and I are going to give you our top 3 predictions for the season, man. These are hot takes, man. We're gonna put ourselves out there somewhat, a little bit, a lot of bit. I don't know.
That's what we do. It's fine.
Stuff we say we cannot go back on. We're going to share our thoughts on that tonight. NBA tip-off, big season ahead, man. Everybody's excited. A little normality. Things are back to normal starting in October, playing kind of a regular season situation. But you got some new faces and new places. So we're going to give our predictions and what we think about some top 3 topics of the NBA season. And then last but not least, it is week 6 of the NFL season wraps up tonight with the Titans and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, who was they're in my top 5, by the way.
I got Derrick Henry tonight. I'm down 3, and I got Derrick Henry tonight.
Against who?
Josh Allen.
Ooh. I don't have a lot. I'm sorry, bro. You got Derrick Henry against Josh Allen. So it's Josh Allen against Tennessee's defense. Ooh. Yeah, they might not be running the ball much after the second quarter. So we'll have to see how that looks. But yeah, man. So week 6 wraps up, man. Monday Night Football, Titans and Buffalo Bills. We're going to talk a little bit about that, give our prediction. Plus, as you know, as always, we give our prediction for week 7 coming up. talk a little bit about recap of week 6 and give our top 5, our power 5. You don't want to miss that at all. So we got a lot to talk about, man. And we're going to get it in tonight, man. Thanks for y'all jumping in. We got Perry in the building. Who else we got out here? We got Leonardo in the building. What's up, man? Let's see. Perry said Dre has spoken. Dennis says basketball is finally here, but we're not looking forward to week 700. Who y'all got week 7? Who the Lions got week 7?
Is he me and him matching up week 7?
Oh, he might be okay. Dennis said I need the Bills kicker to chill tonight. Man, this is interesting, man. All y'all fantasy guys, bro. Listen, I don't want 2 in a row. I'm chilling tonight. I had a big night last night. Had a big day yesterday and last Thursday. Fournette gave me a 30 boy over Deuce's dad. So I'm comfortable tonight. I got a little running back from Buffalo going into tonight. I'm comfortable tonight. Man, so hey, we got a lot to talk about though. There will be murder here in LA week now. Oh yes, Rams Lions next week. It sure is. Ugh, that's gonna be.
It's gonna be some dead Lions.
Man, let's get into it. That and much more tonight on the Academy Sports Show.
Listen, bro. Let's start off right here too. Before we do it, why don't you give the folks a brief recap of our season? We took a hiatus just so we could get the season kicked off. So I think they deserve to know what happened with us this season. In your opinion.
All right, man. Yeah, in my opinion. Hey, so every fall, everybody, man, we switch it back and forth, man. Oh, look at don't do it. Leave it alone. Hey, Jason, you get the bell, bro. That's perfect timing. That is perfect timing.
Do it.
Oh, man. El Presidente of the Madison Heights Wolverines
in the building.
Football organization. Jason Hoskins, everybody, man. He said
it's for year 3 next year.
Yeah, come on, Jay. Come back, baby. We need you. Hey, Jason said don't do it, man. Maybe we should just let it be, man.
Listen. It was rough.
It was rough, y'all. It was rough. Okay. It was by far the worst season we've had. By far. It's like the league is upside down. It was rough. The season's over with. The playoffs start this week, and we are not practicing, nor are we playing. I'm going to Cancun on Wednesday. And we out, man. So let's just leave it there, man. We Redemption Tour 2022 next year, man. We're going to bring it back. It's rough is an understatement. Yeah, man, this was the way it started, man, the way it ended, it is what it is, bro. I'm sorry. I've already moved past it too.
Let's move past it. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's start with where we left off last week, like Joel said, man. Lords. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, shout out to Lawrence though, man. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is. Shout out to him, man. He came up and supported us too, man. When people come and visit, man, you want to put on the show, bro, but it just did not happen.
It didn't happen that way.
No matter what. It did.
All right,
so we could have put on a show this past weekend.
It would have been perfect.
It would have been a great way to go out with a win, but
listen, Flag won their first game ever. Just that flag ball. I looked at fans like these.
They got a flag ball win yesterday. Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Jesus. But anyway, so last week we left off talking about John Gruden, man. I feel like, and it's apropos because we left this a little undone. Like it is what it is until more information comes out. And then more information came out. Man. A lot more information came out. And my stance is usually, so the information that we had last week was just a one email. It was presented as a one-off email. And it was talking about his email against then PA president, whatever, DeMore Smith. and his racist remarks that he downplayed as, just random ribbing that, guys do. And it was just that, and then as soon as we got off the air,
literally as
soon as we got out the air, I checked Twitter and it was like, bang, more misogynistic emails, bang, homophobic emails, bang, it was over a 7-year span, bang, this is on work emails, bang, like it was just ripping Roger Goodell, bang, saying homophobic slurs, bang, it was just more and more and more and more, and it was just like, okay, now let's go ahead and put a ball on it the best way we can. I don't even know what the question for this is.
Yeah, so you know what? It's just I think really the thing about it that we have to point out here is that we had a very good discussion about our perspectives, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a position of this is one email. Give me more than this before we determine that somebody really is. In today's day and time, we're very quick, in my opinion, very quick to jump to something. And I think some people's position is, no, you just are who you are when that boy comes out, and it just is what it is. And I only need one time for you to show me, right? So I think we were just in different places, and so I think we were both in a position of kind of seeing where it went. And it went like left pretty fast. I don't know if that was maybe they heard we had just finished up or whatever, and they wanted to release it after the Academy Sports Show was done. But they released it right afterwards, and it's bad. So I think for me, definitely, I want to come back and say this, and that is after seeing all that other stuff. Hey, sis, after seeing all that other stuff, yeah, man, I'm on the same page as you. But I did. At the position that I was in that night, I needed to see more because we hadn't heard anything else. And this seemed real random because it was like 10 years ago. So the fact that that has changed and it changed very fast, then, he's gone, he stepped down, whatever, which it would have been interesting because I don't think he would have been fired had he not that. And had that extra stuff hadn't come out, I don't think he would have been fired, and that would have been another conversation. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, you were right. I'm going to say that on the air. You were right about this guy. He's 100% all in to that side of it, and there's nothing positive really to really touch about this. And so I think that's really where we kind of had it. Is where we left it kind of in that middle space, and now we have more. And I think it speaks for itself as far as the outcome of it and kind of everything that took place. And so at the end of the day, it's dead.
And then also it does answer the questions that you guys had of, the origin of why now, right? Why now is all this stuff coming out? So it was a probe into the Redskins, and they found emails that he was sending back and forth to a Redskin higher up, one of his friends there. Those guys were sending those kind of emails back and forth in jest. So those things kind of opened up, and it got swept up in the probe. And unfortunately, the Redskins didn't get the worst of it. He did. It was
right.
Not fortunately, very fortunately.
Yeah.
But man, like my whole position on that night was, man, he showed you his stripe, bro. He's a skunk. He stinks. Once he shows it, it's a wrap. I'm not dealing with you no more. And to me, like, that was just that's it. To some people, that's the iceberg. Some people, that's the tip of the iceberg. But man, I was just like, man, this dude is whack. Like, for even your mind to formulate some stuff like that, dumb Morris Smith has Michelin. Like, you got to have something inside of you. You know what I'm saying? To formulate some stuff like that, which means you probably said that stuff out loud many of times, and it only validated more and more stuff that came out. This dude is just, I mean, he's dated as a person. He's dated as a coach. He's dated in his views. He's dated in his ideologies. At one point in time, we can all say, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we all been different people from that point of our lives. But, I mean, just from the simple fact that this man got brought out to light and then tried to apologize and act like nothing more is going to come after this to know that you're even more of a scumbag than we all thought you were going to be. And for some people, the racist thing wasn't enough, and now you got to add all this other stuff to it just so we can see that you're a piece of crap. I mean, he's just a piece of crap, and he should never see the light of day. If he ever returns to the NFL or as an analyst or anything like that, man, I get the land of opportunities. I get second chances. But if he ever gets another opportunity to do anything else in this sport, I would be very surprised.
Yeah, I would be too. I think there's certain things that you don't get let back in for. I think that'll be one of them. Leonardo said, "My thing is, how could he be hired as a coach when they were suspending him on ESPN on Monday Night Football for some of his remarks? Then there's a 500 coach that gave him a $100 million contract with critical comments on Monday Night Football." Yeah, I remember that too, and that was he was pretty critical then. It was interesting that whole thing, kind of how it went down. That was kind of framed though as he was actually leaving to go coach. I feel like that was framed more that way than it was about the fact that he was already making some critical comments. But at the end of the day, you're 100% right, and you were very right about it last week, even without the information. And so I think that was a good place. Like I said, that'll be a good place to for us to kind of land on it, because it really wasn't a question. It was just that we kind of right there, and then it happened right after the show. It was almost like we had to turn the cameras back on and be like, whoa, wait. This just in. So had we been on this air for another 5 or 10 minutes, that discussion would have been totally different.
Welcome back, buddy.
Perry said you said he's dated. Well, he's definitely dated because he used electronic mail to type all these messages. Oh my God. That's very true.
Well, hopefully this is a face we won't see anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Keyshawn went off on him for like a whole week. I hope he got that out of his system.
Yeah, Keyshawn went off on him. My man, Ryan Clark had a good segment about him too.
I didn't see his.
Yeah, Ryan Clark had a good segment about it too. He made a pretty strong statement that I thought was pretty true. You guys should go take a listen to that too as well. So a lot of people had some really strong statements to say about it. And it's funny because when you think about it, he's not the greatest coach. I mean, realistically, the dude took over a team that was already really well coached and ended up winning a Super Bowl with that guy's team. Mm-hmm. And then because of that, they've kind of locked onto him and made him kind of this media darling in the sports world. And at the end of the day, people just, they like weirdos. The media loves weirdos. And he's kind of a quirky guy, knock if you hear me or whatever. Is always kind of a
spider Y2 banana.
Spider Y2, yeah, banana, so people like that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. But yeah, I don't think maybe we shouldn't give him as much time tonight on our show either.
All right. Well, we know where we lie. The positions are firmly rooted. That's wow. Yeah, Stephen A went ballistic too. You expect that of him though.
Yes.
He goes ballistic over everything.
Yeah. He has to go ballistic.
That's his job, to go ballistic. Come on, Stu. Don't do that. He's not. That Steve Kerr's, come on. They may look alike, but different temperaments. All right, next up, man. As Joel said in the breakdown, it is time for the NBA to start. So next week.
Is it next week or is it tomorrow?
This week. Yeah, this week.
Okay.
The NBA tips off with a primetime game. I believe it's Nets and Bucks to tip off the season. So I asked Joel, I asked myself, let's do some hot takes, man. Let's do some hot takes. Give me your top 3 headlines, your top 3 things, your top 3 predictions going into this season that we thought. So me and him were kind of aligned in a certain way. Some going the opposite way, some going the other way. So in our top 3 predictions, we both had something like this in it. So in my top 3 predictions, I said Giannis will win the MVP. And Joel said,
Yeah, I'm taking the field on this one.
He's taking the field on this.
Taking the field.
Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, we getting to him, Lawrence. Let me know your thoughts. I say Giannis is winning the MVP, hands down. Joel is taking the field. I'm taking Giannis because this brother's shooting jumpers.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did you see him? The brother is shooting jumpers. You understand me? He came in them preseason games. He said, first play, 3, wet. I mean, even if they're not going in, he's just shooting them. He's shooting jumpers, something that Ben Simmons would never do. Giannis is shooting jumpers. Giannis is making jumpers. This guy already 2-time MVP, 1-time MVP, two-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, all these accolades, NBA champion Giannis Antetokounmpo, trying to go back to back, added another layer to his game. Unstoppable. His numbers will be better from his MVP season. LeBron's on a decline. All them other guys in the West gonna be beating each other up. You know, KD ain't playing 82 games. I'm picking Giannis.
Yeah, I'm taking the field because I think that the jumper is going to give him a leg up. I do. It'll keep him in the conversation, but I think Giannis is going to get the same treatment LeBron got at some point, and it's going to be Giannis fatigue. And he's won an NBA championship now, got his MVPs, he got a Defensive Player of the Year. The jump shot is going to show that he went out and improved his game. Will it show enough to be formidable, or like will it be respectable, or will it really still be broken and he's going to kind of fall away from it and go back to being Giannis that we already know him to be, which is not a slouch, not a bad thing at all. So no disrespect by it, but yes, we see the footage, we see the film. This dude is shooting jump shots. However, is this going to be something that's going to maintain itself for the entire season, or is this just something we're seeing kind of in the preseason? It'll be there, but it won't be as dominant or make him as dominant. So I think we'll see some fatigue this year. I think there's going to be a couple players like a Steph Curry that comes along and gets back to really cooking. And that team is dangerous. We saw what they did at the kind of the bottom of the West last year, but you could tell he was, starting to make things happen. He was starting to feel it. So it'll be some players that are going to make some noise, and I think there might be a little bit of Giannis fatigue. So again, this is just one of those 3 items we're looking at. One of those 3 predictions. I'm taking the field. Could be wrong at the end of the season. We shall see. But I'm going to go with the field on that. Let's see. Perry said, I'm taking Giannis too. Haven't heard nothing from him all season. Giannis was in the lab, not seeking attention. Giannis fatigue. Y'all, Kang is about attention, not Giannis. Need more of the Greek freak.
Slight jab.
Tell us, slight jab. Tell us what you think. Put it in the comments, man. Who you got? Giannis or the field coming up here in the 2021-2022 NBA season?
Like Joker, that's a good pick, I think. But I think Joker's a one-off. I think he's a one-off MVP. Slide in there. I think Joker's MVP was Giannis fatigue. Like, we can't get this guy another MVP, can we? Let's just give it to the Joker. So I think Giannis, year off from being MVP, he's going in there like gangbusters. I think they're going to do their thing. Probably be, once again, a 1-2 seed, top seed in the East. And then it's only going – the only thing that I see going down is his field goal percentage, right? Because his field goal percentage –
because he can shoot jumpers.
Yeah, because he's going to shoot jumpers now. His field goal percentage is always sky high because he always works in the paint. But I believe his points per game is going to go up. I believe their win-loss record is going to go up. Because remember last year, they weren't worried about win-loss record per se throughout the season. They were just trying to get tougher, trying to, working new plays, working things that'll work out for the playoffs. They were thinking long run. They weren't trying to be a 60-win team like they were the previous 3 seasons before that. So I think like now I feel like he'll go get it, unless now he really is trying to work for a ring and they sit him something. But I don't see him doing that. Embiid and those other guys, man, they too fragile. Dame, I don't think his team is good enough. I really think the only two competitors here might be Steph and Jokic.
Yeah, Dennis said Joker, Embiid, or Steph. I'm with you on that though. Embiid always gets hurt, so I just don't see him making it through a whole season. I mean, Embiid plays like he did last season. He's got a good shot, and he was balling last year. Definitely turned it up, but I just don't. Yeah, I still don't see him lasting the whole time. Barry says, "I want to be a voice for the voiceless," and I quote.
All right, that's a Kyrie shot. Here we go. Everybody's favorite player. We can loop this in because it involves I was gonna call them the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, who will be on top in the East. One of my predictions this year was that the Chicago Bulls would be top 3 in the East this year. It would be top 3. I feel like it'll be some mixture, either Brooklyn or Milwaukee at 1 or 2. I'm thinking Milwaukee at 1, Brooklyn at 2, and Chicago at 3. But I got Chicago in the top 3 in the East this year.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Chicago was what last year? What did they finish at last year? Were they 5?
Playoffs.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's a stretch. That's a nice early preseason predictor. I like that. I still think after all this drama that and this was one of my top 3s. The Brooklyn Nets are still going to be the number 1 seed in the league, minus Kyrie. To me, Kyrie is not the answer for that squad. To me, a healthy James Harden and Kevin Durant with that squad, to me, can win a lot of football games, a lot of basketball games. Before Harden pulls the hammy last week, last year, where am I right now? What's my head doing? Before he pulled the hammy last season, and they had the issue kind of in the playoffs. The thing about Harden has always been, can he stay healthy? Like, even when they were in Houston, they were always one hamstring away from getting to where they wanted to go. Mm-hmm. So, to me, if Harden and KD can stay healthy, then that team's got enough to me to compete with Milwaukee and possibly get out of the East. But as far as my prediction, I don't see it for Chicago because to me it's Milwaukee. To me it's Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Atlanta. I think Atlanta's for real. I don't think what we saw last year was a fluke. That's a young team that got a taste. And they got a taste of something that's like, hey, we can get this far? Oh, let's go. So I think that young team is up and coming. And they're going to give Milwaukee and Brooklyn fits. And so I really see it as Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. And I don't count out Philadelphia, even though they've got the drama. Embiid's the force, and they'll play well. They won't, make a lot of noise, but I still got Philly up there. So I can't see Chicago breaking into even the top 4 coming up. But I like Brooklyn still being number 1 in the East because I don't think Kyrie's relevance is that strong in regards to needing him to win a title.
Okay. Stu's got a question for you, and then Dennis got a question for me.
If not Giannis, then who? Hey, man, I think we named a couple. I'm going to go, like I said,
who's your top guy?
My top guy in the league?
Who's your top guy? I know you picked the field, but
if I'm picking the field in my top, I'm going to go in the field. I have 2. I have Steph, and I got Joker. I think the questions will be this, because this usually goes to the teams that are either surprising or to the teams that are better than they were last year. So Milwaukee doesn't really have much else to do. They've kind of done it all. So I can see if the Warriors are back in the top 3 again, Steph's probably having a stupid, crazy season.
You're forgetting one guy.
Clay?
No.
Well, no, I have a dark horse too.
Okay.
I do have a dark horse. But when it comes to the West, if Golden State's up top or somewhere in that conversation, then that means Steph is having a superior year. To me, that's got to mean that Denver's running it back, and to me, gets better every year. So it's just a matter of can they finally get over the hump and kind of win some important games. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, my dark horse, and maybe I'm just talking crazy, but I think this guy got a taste, and he's super dangerous now, and that's Devin Booker. And so
Not who I was going for, but
like if they really understand how to use him and let him really be that guy, and Phoenix comes back to be a more mature team and have learned and they're playing well, then I think he's a dark horse. But I think there are enough people in the field to unseed Giannis.
Yeah. The field is deep.
Yeah.
The field is deep. Three guys. One that's probably on everybody's radar, and two sleepers. My two sleepers are probably Tatum, because I feel like he can put up the numbers, but can he carry a team? And then Donovan Mitchell. Utah's always a high seed in the West. Can he take that next step? But Luka, man. Luka's going to definitely put up the numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
Luka's going to put up the numbers, but can he get the wins to back it up?
Right.
So I feel like Luka is probably, if not the biggest threat, one of the biggest threats to Giannis getting this MVP.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
one guy I'll be scared of.
Well, there was another question. Bulls over Heat and Hawks?
Bulls over Heat and Hawks. So here's why. I don't believe in the Heat, bro. I feel like Jimmy Butler is a star, but I don't think he's a superstar.
I agree.
I don't think Bam Adebayo is a superstar. I believe he's a star. I don't think Kyle Lowry is a superstar. He's a star. And you just got a bunch of stars on a team that plays hard-nosed defense, but the offense sometimes might be sketchy. You pay Duncan Robinson a bunch of money. Like, I don't know about that team. I don't know about that franchise. They're going to play good, hard-nosed basketball, but they don't sniff top 3 to me. 5 seed, 6 seed, possibly 8 seed, who knows? But I don't think they're a top 3. I don't think they're a team that can string together wins like that. Atlanta, I flash in the pan, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I believe Trae Young still gonna get off this year because people don't really play hardcore defense like that in the league anyway, especially in the regular season. But Nate McMillan, I mean, he came in. He came in from my man and rejuvenized that team. But is he really the right coach for that? We've seen Nate McMillan teams. He does the same MO. He's the assistant coach. The head coach gets fired. He comes in. He wins a bunch of games. He gets paid. And then they do nothing after that. John Collins got his money. Is he really still hungry? Like, there's still a lot of questions for this young Hawks team. And I don't know if they're top 3 yet. The Knicks, Philadelphia's got a lot of questions. The Knicks got a lot of questions. Some of these teams are really good regular season teams, but I feel like Chicago has enough that maybe they can take that next step, and I'm banking on it. I already put my name on it, so I gotta fly with it.
All right, we got a lot of action here. Perry says Milwaukee at number 1. Dre, I ain't buying Chicago just yet. Much improved and a playoff team, but top 3 is very interesting.
For sure.
James said, don't forget about Atlanta.
5 seed, 6 seed.
Dennis said Bulls 4 through 6. Perry said Georgia could be relevant because of Nate's coaching ability. They really brought into Nate, but I don't see them in the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, that was a fluke.
Coleman said yes, Steph and Joker. Joker has to be the glue with MPJ balling out until Murray returns.
Do you really think Michael Porter Jr. is taking that next step like that? You banking on that kid like that?
That's a good question for Dennis. That's a guy I do think about in the grand scheme of that team. But yeah, that's got to be a huge next step. That has to be a huge next step. Perry said, you ain't talking crazy. Devin Booker is a legitimate threat. Coleman said Booker is insanely talented.
I think the Suns is be a top seed this year too. because the way that West is, and everybody's still trying to get it together, they're already put together team. Denver, and Utah. I think those 3 teams should be close to the top this year.
So Coleman said the 04 Pistons didn't have superstars either. Shrug.
They were also keeping people under 70 points. That ain't happening in this league.
That's true. That is true. Stu said, "Don't forget Drummond is in Philadelphia." Red flag. Oh man. Leonardo said Milwaukee. He's on the Milwaukee bandwagon as well. Dennis said Gordon needs to play big too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Denver's got some people.
So, did I miss something? Because after we lost, I tend to disappear from the sports world, especially like if you couple that with Browns losing or Michigan losing, I'll turn off sports for days. But why do you have this picture of the Nets up?
What do you mean? They're in the East.
I know. Why is my man in the middle though? Number 7. What's his name?
Because he plays in the East.
Oh, okay, not because he get traded to the Nets.
No, he didn't miss anything. I was just trying to get a bunch of Eastern Conference players up here. They all
that
have
picture kind of threw me off. Sometimes they put that picture together where you don't have a guy in his New Jersey yet, and I was like, did I miss something?
No, I mean, I just tried to get a bunch of East people.
Okay.
All right. So you have one of your predictions this week. You have the Nets being a number 1 seed, even with Kyrie. What's your thoughts on the whole Kyrie situation now? As we now know, Kyrie, unvaccinated. He said he said he would get vaccinated, but he's doing this to be the voice of the voiceless. And due to New York's mandates, he will not be allowed to work in New York not being vaccinated, which meant he will miss more than half the games. So the Nets just said, screw it, you're not playing no games until you either get vaccinated or till the mandate is lifted. What's your thoughts on the whole Kyrie vaccine, unvaccinated, working basketball diatribe?
Oh, I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of we've been talking about this guy over time now. It's just thing after thing, and all of it seems self-promoting. None of this stuff seems real. This is a guy that I just feel wants the spotlight for every other reason besides basketball. It's like he's yearning to feel like he matters. So he's trying to be this guy that is impactful to the culture, and this. It's annoying. It's on my nerves. From flat Earth to just the drama that has seemed to follow him from team to team, and then he wasn't playing, but then he was playing. And no offense to the mental health community, but then there's this dude now he's got issues. I mean, what is it, bro? Just play basketball, man. How you the voice to the voiceless? First of all, the non-vaccinated people have a very loud voice. if I might say, and I am not gonna sit here and be on one pedestal or the other. I have no issue with sharing my status. I'm vaccinated, and it is a right to everyone to do what you please with yourself and your children, whatever. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about this dude's right to do it or not do it, because he's already said he would pretty much do it, but he wants to be the voice of the voiceless. These same voiceless are probably people who have season tickets and want to see him play. It's very interesting dichotomy here. But I'm just so tired of talking about this dude because this stuff seems fabricated every single time. It's just made up. I just want to matter. But, bro, you can matter if you just go out and ball. You are arguably the best. A lot of people will say arguably the best ball handler in the league. And some will argue some of the greatest handles in a generation. Like what this dude can do with the ball, and what he can do when he gets to the rack with the glass play, like his English on the glass, everything is ridiculous. Why aren't we still talking about this guy like that? It's like when he left Cleveland, he wanted to prove that it was because of him that they won a championship and not LeBron. Like, and it's been bad ever since. And I'm just tired of it, bro. Leonardo just said it. That's the perfect word, diva. Like, come on, bro. He's trying to be, John Carlos or Tommy Smith or Cap, or that's what he's trying to do. But it feels so disingenuous, bro. So it's draining. And I used to root for this cat, like when he was playing on a 60-loss team. I was like, dog, I like watching the cast because I just want to see this kid play. Mm-hmm. Then when LeBron came, of course, elevated everything. They get Kevin Love, they get a squad, and my man he did his thing in the finals. He scored 40 the same night Bron scored 40 in the finals. Let's not forget. He hit the game-winning shot to bring the championship to Cleveland. Let's not forget. And it's almost like bro mad because he ain't never gotten the full love. So now he's supposed to be loved by the people.
By the people.
Oh, it's just
people so will love me.
I'm done with it. That's my feeling on it. I'm done with it.
I feel like I don't want to be the shut up and dribble guy. I don't.
We're not being that. But come on.
I know that's what I'm saying. You're not being that. I don't want to be that guy. At the end of the day, it's your profession. And a lot of people do philanthropic things while still doing their professions. Like your teammates cannot count on you at all. No. Your availability is your best ability, as the Kang would say. And he is not available physically or emotionally for his teammates, and hasn't been since he's been in Brooklyn. He's either been injured, he'll play some games, then he'll go on a hiatus. Don't know how long the hiatus will be. And then he'll get injured again, and then he'll talk crap from a bubble that he didn't want to go to.
Like they weren't even going. Like he talked crap about the bubble, and they weren't even going. Like, bro, you're not even playing. Shut up. I'm sorry, we're not doing the shut up and dribble.
Like, it would be great if it had some weight on it, if it had some meat on the bone. But, sir, we all see through your bull. Like, everybody sees through it. And unfortunately, whatever clout that you had with the people that you've gave millions of dollars to, the foundations you've helped support in secret, all the WNBA players that you have helped, during the lockout or, bubble time, and all the things that you've donated and all the money you've protested tours and all this other stuff. All that stuff is great. But at the end of the day, you are not available to the people that need you the most. Kevin Durant went to Brooklyn because you asked him to come there for you, and then you take away your availability. If I was KD, I'd be pissed. And they asked Kevin Durant point blank. They was like, bro, if I was you, like, why aren't you – why? He was like, mad? He was like, yeah, why aren't you mad? He was like, man, it's just a game I love, man. I just get a chance to do the game I love.
Good job,
like,
KD.
Okay, KD.
Good job, KD. You weren't emotional today.
That was the first mature answer I've ever heard Kevin Durant say, because that would have been the perfect time for you to go, man, because I've said it before, this some bullshit.
KD, if you ever wanted to go third-party Twitter handle, this was your moment.
That would have been a moment. Get that Twitter egg out, no emoji, and go ahead and go ham, because I'm done with Kai, as Perry is saying.
Kai. Leonardo said Kyrie is such a diva. He picks the wrong things to take a stand for. I wouldn't even want him on my team because he's a cancer wherever he goes. Fella's very talented, but he is drama. Stu says, so let Magic play. So they let Magic play with A's, but Kyrie got to get his shot. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I think the let Magic play with A's piece, though, is like there's more understanding to it, too. Like, the understanding of what that situation was changed the rules of the game, right? Like, we stopped play now because of that. Like I think there's an understanding to what it is now, and that understanding is what's driving. I mean, we can get into the debate about the science and all of that, but ultimately there's an understanding that I think is driving everything. You know, and that's where it's like, hey man, get vaccinated. But like you said to your point, like I'm with everybody else on this. It just doesn't feel authentic to me. I don't know what it is about this guy. And like I said, I was a fan, bro. I even listened to some pods, man. It's interesting. He's a real eclectic guy. He reads these books, Art of War, and it's all about his mindset and everything. So he's a real different guy. Like if you hear him, listen to him on pods and stuff, kind of when he's kind of sharing. I don't know. It's just something about this just does not feel authentic. It's like, why, bro? Why? Like, I guess, and what it is, it leads, like you said, there's other things leading up to this. Like before this, it was something else.
Mm-hmm.
You're never available to play.
And there's going to be another thing.
It's going to be something else.
Hey, listen, halfway through the season, the mandate's going to get lifted.
Yep.
And then he can go back to work.
And then he won't get a shot then either.
And then he's going to be, I don't want to come back because y'all turned y'all back on me.
Yeah. It's like, you just don't want to play anymore. Just don't play.
Mark my words. This mandate's going to be lifted. I'm not – Kyrie's not going to sit out the whole year. I doubt that he sits out the entire year. The mandate –
he's almost backed himself into a corner. He almost has to.
I mean, even if he doesn't get vaccinated, I believe the mandate will get lifted. Like one way or another, New York will lift the mandate. Like it's not going to last the rest of the season. One of these, when we get to January, February, March, something like that, the mandate will be lifted, allowing him to work in New York State, and then the ball will be back in his court, and let's see what craziness goes on.
Yeah, that's fair. Perry said, Dre, guess what? At this point, shut up and dribble. Stu said, honestly, they were going to trade him anyway. Like, to me, he's expendable. Like I said, I think they can be the number one seed in the East without Kyrie being on that team. There's nothing about their situation that showed me that there's a need for him to be around. They weren't they up 2-0 on Milwaukee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was with a hurt James Harden and a going nuts KD. So
if you get I will re-sign from James Harden, trade him.
Yep.
Because right now you're waiting on James Harden to re-sign. James Harden is not re-signing right now. Because who will want to resign to this craziness? KD's stuck in it, right? He signed his extension. He's locked up for another 4 years. They're waiting on Harden to resign. If you go Harden, listen, what it'll take for you to resign? Do we have to get rid of this cat? We will get rid of him for you to resign him. Keep playing with KD.
Absolutely.
If I go to James Harden and I can get a verbal, I will resign with you and trade away this dude and get some more reliable people, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. I agree, 100%.
All right, and then the last of our predictions, both surrounded the LA Lakers. My prediction around the LA Lakers are – what was my prediction?
I thought your prediction was a little disrespectful, to be honest with you.
Let me double check.
I thought it was a little disrespectful.
Yes, my prediction is the LA Lakers will be in the play-in tournament. Again, that is my prediction. The LA Lakers will be in the play-in tournament again this year. So that means they are going to be either 7, 8, 9, or 10. You understand me? The LA Lakers will be in the play-in. I don't see it with this group as of now. Something's not clicking. It's not clicking. Somebody's going to get hurt for an extended period of time. You know what I'm saying? They're old, and they're old. I don't see it with this group. I'm not picking them to win the championship. I'm sorry. I am not on this Lakers bandwagon. This is not the right roster. I am not a Russell Westbrook fan. Anthony Davis is Mr. Glass. He's going to get hurt for an extended period of time. And it's all going to be on LeBron's shoulders. And last year showed us LeBron is on the decline, baby. he's not that guy anymore. So I'm sorry. Play-in tournament.
That's disrespectful to your gang.
I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I'm a realist.
Perry said play-in tournament. Stu said he wants to be Kobe, but weird.
The weird Kobe.
He's talking about Westbrook. Leonardo said Lakers were easy, 50 wins. Hey man, I think you're being disrespectful.
Hey, 50 wins might not get you a top 5 seed in the West.
Perry said, "I know I don't rock with the game, but I think they can manage better than the play-in tournament." Hey man, my third prediction for the season was that the LA Lakers will not come out of the West, but I do not have them in the play-in tournament. I think that they are good enough to be a 5 seed. So I think they'll avoid the play-in tournament. I do think Anthony Davis is going to get hurt. That is the norm. I think that the Westbrook-LeBron combination is going to be somewhat dysfunctional at times because I do think that he's going to give Brody the look like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what? Like, everybody thinks – I don't know why people think this about NBA players, but not many of them have done it. But they like to think that NBA players who play the same way for so long and are the atypical guy, the alpha male, or if they've been an alpha male in somebody's locker room, for the most part, those guys don't change, bro. I'm sorry. They don't change. And so I want to see a ball-dominant Russell Westbrook now become a non-ball dominant player in a ball-dominant LeBron James offense.
Who's sitting in the corner?
Russell Westbrook? If Stephens was here right now, he'd be jumping down our throats about Russell Westbrook and how this can probably work and all of that. But I'm calling it, bro. This team's not coming out the West, but I'm going to give them more than a play-in tournament. But I do see the dysfunction of this roster. And Melo, it's a nice story, bro. But come on, man. Like,
he ain't averaging more than 10.
Yeah, man, if that. I mean, by game 20, by the quarter mark, bro, he might only be playing like 10 minutes a night. Like, it's just ridiculous. So,
listen, one of these guys gonna get hurt. You know how I say,
AD's gonna get hurt for sure.
Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield, they both friends with with Landry, so they friends of the friends, and now they got to be friends because the friend is gone. When LeBron goes down and when AD goes down, it's gonna be Russell and Carmelo looking at each other like, I don't want to play with you. I don't want to play with you either. We both came here for LeBron. The friends of the friends got to learn how to play together. It's not gonna be a good look, bro. It's not. Their bench is thin. Now they're banged up. Malik Monk, who they got for piss and vinegar, he's hurt. Kendrick Nunn is hurt. All the young components of the old team are all hurt. You got rid of Caruso, Taylor Horton, he's hurt. It's like, I don't see. Play-in tournament. Play-in tournament.
Ooh-wee.
I had to look up and see if the play-in tournament was still happening this year. They was like, yep, all right, okay, cool, play-in tournament. Go ahead. It's going to be the Lakers versus Portland. In the play-in tournament.
This is gonna be fun. Watch, because I want to see if this comes true. Yeah, I don't have them that low, but I'm with you. Oh man,
you actually put that up there. You skipped a couple, but that's the one you decided to put up there. We see you, Stu. We see all of them. Happy to have you, sir.
Oh, man. Leonardo says they didn't have time to recover from the COVID season. I don't think they'll come out of the West at all. Westbrooker is Westbrooker, period. The King ain't never played with the Westbrooker before. Wow. Was it responses?
All right.
Do you get a bell?
So enjoy NBA tip-off. this week. We will have more NBA categories moving forward. And let us know if you see anything out there in the NBA world. Hit us up and let us know if you got any memes or anything like that. We didn't play What the Meme this week because we knew we had a lot to get through today, but it will be back hopefully next week. And that'll take us back over to the NFL. We're getting ready for Monday Night Football going on tonight. We got the Titans versus the Bills. Should be a good game. So that leads us to our top 5. So Joel's up first. Our top 5 teams going into this week. Joel, last week you had Bills, Cardinals, Chargers, Green Bay, Tampa Bay. How you looking this week?
Not much change except Baltimore got the Chargers this week, man. They took them down. And it's interesting because last week we were looking at Baltimore and the Colts, and the Colts were just giving Baltimore the works. When that game was finally over with in overtime, Baltimore got out of there 31-25 with a win. And Lamar had 442 yards. He went 37 of 43 with 4 touchdowns. So the debate about can he be a pocket passer and also can they come back and win, he kind of spoke to it a little bit, but I'm still going to speak on that again this week and still going to say that the way to beat them is to get up on them. That was the Colts. So really what that was Baltimore finally woke up and did what they were supposed to do against the Colts, and it ended up being a game they had to kind of squeak out. But I would give Baltimore a blowout win against the Colts on any other given Sunday or Monday for that matter. And I believe when we picked that game last week, we picked it as if it was going to be like whatever. The Ravens are going to kill them, and it actually was. It was a little better, I guess you could say, than we thought. Yeah, so my number 1, Buffalo Bills. They don't lose their spot. They haven't played. They played tonight. I actually have them beating Tennessee by 2 touchdowns or more. I don't think this is going to be super entertaining. If Tennessee can run the ball, then we'll see something. But Tennessee's defense is still questionable. And Buffalo is red hot right now. Arizona, number 2. They're right there. They could be 1A. I just like the way that Buffalo's won football games so far this year, but Arizona obviously making another statement yesterday in Cleveland. Oh, man, I didn't like that game as a Browns fan. I didn't have us winning that game because I didn't like where it was positioned on the schedule coming off of the Chargers game, which I knew was going to be tough. And half of our team is injured. And I feel like the referees also have something out for the Browns this year too, but I ain't going to comment on that. Perry was there, so he can comment on that, but it was ugly to watch. But Arizona is dominating. They are tough on offense to defend. They have 2 number 1s, if you could say. You got Hops and you got AJ Green, he's a shell of himself, but he's enough to offset Hops. And then they got 2 guys in the slot as well. So that's a pretty tough team to face. I still don't think they're the best team in the NFC. But they're going to be up there. They're going to be in the battle coming into the year. So I got 1 and 2, Buffalo, Arizona. Green Bay, to me, I have them at 3. I know week 1 was horrible. I keep saying this, but the reason I put them there is because I say this every year. Anytime that man number 12 has a running game, they're a very dangerous team. They don't have to be great defensively. They just got to stop people opportunistically. And boy, oh boy, once again, they go into Chicago, tough place all the time, division rival. They seem to play Aaron Rodgers tough. And when he scored that touchdown, I felt you, A-Rod. I own you. I own you. He gave a daddy discount double check because Khalil Mack gave one earlier on a sack. So he gave him one right back, and I was right there with him. I loved it. Number 4, I got Tampa Bay. They got back on track. They're looking good again. I just don't know about the old man squad running it back. I feel like that's going to derail a little bit at sometimes. They haven't had the injury bug or had adversity yet, so I want to see what it looks like. But they're beating teams. And then Baltimore is in there, man. They're dominating running game, defense. Lamar looks great again. Congratulations to him on getting his jersey retired in Louisville coming up. But I still think the way to beat that team is to definitely get up on them and make him throw from the pocket. It was the Colts, Perry. Come on. It was the Colts. That was supposed to be a blowout. It was the Colts. All right. So that's my top 5. Now I don't have to say anything about my Browns losing because I've already given my 2 cents. Half my damn team's injured.
All right, so 2 questions about your top 5. 2 questions.
Yep.
One, you said that Arizona wasn't the best team in NFC. So why don't you just put Green Bay at number 2 if that's how you really feel?
Because Arizona's undefeated, so I respect the record.
That's not how you feel, though.
But no, I respect the record. But when I put up my top 5, it consists of a number of factors. Record is one of those factors. And so Buffalo took that tough L week 1, right, against Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. That to me was a random. That was a one-off. Because they came back and Buffalo, like we were telling you, last week, the week before, the eye test for me is Buffalo just popping right now. Arizona's right there with. They're undefeated. Green Bay, Arizona. I think today, if you put Green Bay against Arizona, I think Arizona might squeak that out because Green Bay's defense, I think, would have a lot of trouble with Kyler Murray in that offense. But Aaron Rodgers is the equalizer. So it just becomes an interesting situation. So Arizona, to me, because they're undefeated, is why I'm locking them in at 2. And we'll see how, when they lose, because I think they will lose at some point, then how will they lose? We'll see how it all shakes out after that.
And then 2, if why'd you take the Rams off? Well, not Rams off. Why is Tampa Bay ahead of the Rams? If Tampa Bay lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
Better record.
So positioning wise again, so I had the Rams on here and I had the Rams actually up pretty high and then they lost. So they lost to Arizona, and that week that they lost to Arizona, Tampa Bay came back and put a nice little thrubbing up and looked like the Super Bowl team again. So for me at that point in time, when that movement took place, I had the Rams falling out of the top 5 because of the loss to Arizona, and it was a loss. It wasn't like a close one. And Tampa Bay with a nice head knock on somebody brought them back into the fight. Tampa Bay has not lost since, while LA has gotten back into form as well. So that I think this is a fluid situation.
Very fluid.
I think there's 8 teams in this conversation.
Very fluid.
So depending on when people win and lose is going to definitely play a role in how I move people around on my board.
Very fluid. I ain't knocking you. I'm just asking the questions before they do. Before they get into it. Because somebody wants your attention right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not sleeping on Lamar, bro. I'm not sleeping on Lamar. It was the Colts, bro. It was the Colts.
Listen, they were down a lot on Monday Night Football. He brought them back. It was the Lamar. I feel like at that point it was like, we losing. Just let Lamar go Lamar. See what happens.
Yeah,
and he went crazy.
The dude has a tendency to go Lamar and very good things happen. So I ain't trying to make it sound like that, but okay. So to my point, right? They let Lamar go Lamar, right? And he did, and they came back and win. So let's talk stats real quick, Barry. Yesterday, the Ravens won 34-6.
Calling you out.
Lamar's numbers yesterday, 19 for 27 for 167, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. I'll wait. So that's what I'm saying. Their defense holds the Chargers down, and this isn't a battle. So
yeah. When he's good, he's good. And when he's meh, he's meh.
He's meh. So I'm just saying.
He's a dynamic weapon. All right. So let me give you my top 5. You see that nice big old star up there. It ain't going nowhere. You understand me? It ain't going nowhere. I don't care what y'all talk about me every single week. I ain't going to keep giving me what I'm getting. You understand me? I'm with them. So at number 1, I'm going to Arizona over Buffalo. I get the Buffalo train. I understand the Buffalo train. I was late to the Buffalo train, but now I'm on the Buffalo train. All right, so I got Buffalo at number 2. I got Arizona at number 1. Arizona just looks dominant on offense and defense. Kyler Murray is my MVP right now, and they beat them without their head coach. Like, they won without Cliff Kingsbury. They didn't miss a beat. Every guy on that offense is a weapon. The defense is very opportunistic. And to me, I got Arizona at number 1. Respect the undefeated record. Number 2, I got the Bills. At number 3, I got the Stars, baby. I'm going with the Stars. Hard-fought win against New England. If you say it was New England, y'all wasn't saying that when they lost to Tampa Bay. Y'all wasn't saying that then. So don't say it now when they when there was a hard-fought win with the Cowboys. So I keep the Cowboys at number 3. They might drop next week because Dak might not play. So we'll see what Dak's status is going into next week. He was in a walking boot. They say he's limping hard. They don't know. He's questionable to play next week, so hopefully they don't lose. But I still got Dallas. I'm still riding with Dallas as my third best team. I jumped Baltimore in there too, like you did. 2 great wins in that span. I feel like that comeback win against the Colts really catapulted them, and then them dismantling the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers was on a very high trajectory. People thought they were like the next thing smoking, and they went ahead and put that butt whooping on them. So I put them in there. And new to my list, their first appearance in my top 5 are the Green Bay Packers. You sent me that I own you video. I called him an asshole. You called him a bad man. And I respect that bad man. The Bears aren't much, but the eye test tells me that the Green Bay Packers are here, sir. They are definitely here. So I put the Green Bay Packers in my top 5 this week. So I'm going Arizona, Buffalo, Cowboys, Ravens, and the Green Bay Packers.
So 2 questions to you as well, because I think this is the challenge to the Cowboys. So I want you to speak to it.
Y'all keep coming at me about these Cowboys. Listen,
I think it's because I think it's relevant. This is their season right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you look at they are 5-1, and they have 5 wins again. They have 4 wins against teams that are, and they have a legit win against the Chargers, and they lost to the Bucs. So the 2 toughest teams that they've played by far are the Bucs and Chargers. Mm-hmm. Besides that, they've beaten the Eagles, Panthers, Giants, Patriots, and they have Vikings, Broncos, Falcons before they play another real game against the Chiefs on November 25th.
Okay. So you want me to continue to ignore them until they lose so you can say I told you so.
But does schedule have anything to do with your top 5, like your strength of schedule? Not to say that they are not a good football team. I think on paper for the last few years, they have been on paper a good football team. They've underachieved, and it's been fun to watch because offensively they've had the pieces, but defensively they were a sieve at best. So this year defensively, clearly, Diggs is a monster at corner, and they're playing better. But there are teams like the Rams. I'll just say the Rams for right now. That the eye test seems to suggest better than the Cowboys. Does strength of schedule come into play when you make your list?
It does, but for more, it's really the eye test. And if you look at those wins, they're putting up 31, 41, 36, 44, 35. This team ain't just, they ain't squeaking by in the 10-7 wins. They putting up points. The offense is fluid to me. Like I said last week, they got a 2-headed monster. The O-line is back. And Dak has proven why he should have got that money. Like, he's definitely putting his team on his shoulders and winning these football games. They went to overtime, and he put the team on his shoulders. He won that football game for them with CeeDee Lamb. I'm rocking with them. I'm not going to dismiss them until they lose. I'm gonna just keep them on the list and keep rocking with them. I don't have the Rams up that high, or Tampa Bay. because I mean, even though I believe all those three teams have the same thing, same record, I believe Dallas is undefeated since their first week of the season. So,
Yep.
so they have a win streak going on there. But I feel like the Rams, they have questions. Like Arizona destroyed them. You know what I'm saying? And then the Chargers, like Baltimore destroyed them. So, like when those teams lost, they lost. Like Dallas hasn't been in that situation yet. So even a loss in the first game, like they didn't lose. So I feel like they're a stronger 5-1 team than those other 5-1 teams.
Okay. And you already answered the next question, which was about the Rams. So that's perfect. Okay. Perry said, "Hey Joel, have you seen the massive amount of injuries on the Ravens? Yeah, they're running backs. They don't have any. Latavius Murray scored a touchdown yesterday, so one of them is back. And they have
he wasn't on the team. They picked him out the.
Yeah, they picked up him.
Yeah.
They picked up Devontae from Devontae Freeman
from Bell and Murray.
Yeah. So I mean, I get that, but
and then they lost.
They're relevant, true.
The corner,
they're relevant because of him, but bro, come on.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, without Lamar, their whole scheme is around Lamar. That's why the backup looks just like Lamar.
Right. Because I'm saying if we want to pull up stats, then he's got to take this week's stats with last week's stats. So this week's stats aren't that great.
Yeah.
There's some top fives out here. Stu says Bills, Cards, Ravens, Bucks, and the Cowgirls.
Put them on the list, but disrespect them while you at it.
Yep. Let's see, Perry. You said that already. Rodgers is overrated. He plays the Lions and Bears and Vikings twice.
That's 6 wins.
That is 6 wins, but
I won't say overrated though.
Aaron Rodgers is overrated. You get a bell. Perry's top 5: Bills, Zona by default, Rams, Bucks, Ravens.
It's not a lot of wrong answers. Like it's a lot of 5-1 teams.
It's a fluid situation.
4-2 teams. I just feel like everybody feels like I'm wrong for putting Dallas up. Like they just the other.
Dallas one's tough for me. I mean, hey man, I get it. They're 5-1. I mean, so you've got a platform to stand on. The only thing that stands out to me about them, because it's not that I don't want to respect them. Like to me, they're in my top 6-7 teams as well. They don't make the list only because to me it's that schedule. They're in their whole schedule this year, because it's been tough the past couple of years. It's just nice and like soaking wet. Like the Browns are in. Like I'm hoping right now, because the Browns are in that part of their schedule where it just gets nice and easy. So I'm hoping like they can start winning some games, get healthy, so you can get ready the second half season when you got to play the Ravens twice and yada, yada, yada. So it's just that to me, like the Cowboys schedule has been like a wet blanket since week 2. Like week 1 and 2 was tough, and then everything else has just sucked. So that's the only I'm holding them on their strength of schedule. But they're definitely in the top 7 teams. They're one loss in my top 5 away from being in the top 5 if they jump into somebody else's league.
How come when we talk about Tampa Bay's win against New England, it was a hard-fought win in Foxborough, and this team was game to take on Tom Brady, but then when they played Dallas, it was it's just New England. They suck.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, that you gotta acknowledge that the hype and the things that go around a game are a part of the influence of a game, and so that Tampa Bay New England game. I mean, New England's they're gonna play up above what they really are, and you got to scheme Tom Brady. Let's not sleep on Belichick. My man knew what he was doing. So it was easy to say, hey, if they had lost that game, hey, Belichick beat them. He had the scheme. They knew what to do. Da, 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 da. At the end of the day, for me, that game looks different because Tampa Bay pulls that game out. Dallas and New England, like if we're being real, New England's really not that good of a team. Everybody wants them to be, but the Mac Jones experiment is horrible. It is.
I don't know, but I wouldn't say the kid is horrible. He's a rookie. He has a good completion percentage because he's checking down every play.
He throws like 12 passes a game.
He is yet to push the ball down the field yet. But it's gonna take time. I mean, Justin Field has the worst completion percentage in a rookie ever. We don't think he's gonna suck. It's gonna take time.
Justin Fields looks much different than even in the games, even in these first 3 games, bro. Justin Fields looks much different than Mac Jones to me does.
I say get a guy a chance. Get a guy a chance. All right, so that's our top 5. Appreciate you guys putting your top 5s in the chat. We're at kickoff right now for Monday Night Football, which means we're in pick'em mode. Let's get these picks out the way so we can get back and enjoy the game. Calling 12 overrated, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see what TV the Packers. Man, come on, bro. Nah. You just mad about me hating on Lamar, bro. In 2 to 3 years, Mac Jones is going to be a little better, but Mac Jones is the Andy Dalton of New England.
Ooh.
Mac Jones is the Andy Dalton of New England, bro. New England's not going to win the AFC East with Mac Jones. Mac Jones is the Andy Dalton of New England. Mac Jones will hand the ball off to nobody. They'll keep drafting people. And I'm telling you, the system they're trying to put in New England is this. They are trying to win games by him being a game manager while they defend and beat teams with their defense. They want to hold you to low scores, let him be a game manager, and somehow, they win games 17-10. Mac Jones ain't that guy. He might not be able to get you 17 points. This dude barely throws the ball down the field.
Listen, Andy Dalton had a good run there. He had a good 2-3 years in Cincinnati, okay?
Hey, there you go. That's who he's going to be.
All right, let's get to these picks, man. Appreciate y'all as always. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man. Share. Thank you so much. And let's get into these pickles, man. Make sure y'all put it on wax. Who y'all picking? All right, so tonight, Monday Night Football, Bills, Titans, Bills 4-1, Titans 3-2. Who you got?
Let's go, Buffalo.
Let's go. But would you be shocked if Buffalo lost this game?
I would. Tennessee's not a good – listen, and you talking about me hating? I hate on the Titans. This is y'all squad. This is the team y'all got me.
This is y'all squad.
Look at the stats. Look at the stats, Perry. Look at the stats, man. Go back and look at Tennessee's stats. Man, are you kidding me? Josh Allen's a dog, bro. Josh Allen's a dog.
All right, well, yeah, I'll pick Buffalo too, but I need 100 yards. I need 100 yards out of Derrick.
Hey, man. I think if anything, this ends up being either a shootout or a blowout, bro. And that does not bode well for you either way. Yes, Perry, you were factually correct. Their statistics were there, but their defense was a sieve last year. Their defense was a sieve. And if they don't get pressure on the quarterback, which they still haven't been able to do this year, they are going to lose. They like to play hard-nosed football, be like their coach. They ain't bullying nobody, bro. I'm not a believer in the Bills. In the Titans.
Come on, Julio, play. All right, Thursday night, Broncos at Browns.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Even though we're going to be playing the JV squad ourselves because half of our team is on IR, we're going to get this dub because the Broncos are bad. That's Perry's team. The Broncos are horrible, bro.
They're 3-3.
Who'd you pick?
Is Baker playing? No. If Baker don't play, I'm going to take the Broncos.
As of right now, Baker in the press conference today he said, I'm definitely playing Thursday night.
Okay. If Baker plays, I'll pick Baker. But if you don't, I'm picking the Broncos. Jesus. Lions at Rams.
Ooh, massacre, bro. A lot of blood. A whole lot of blood. Hey, remember that quote at the beginning of the year about the kneecaps? Poor Matthew Stafford, because there's going to be they will be trying to kneecap this week because, bruh, it's bad in Detroit. I was going to ask you, would you feel some type of way if they become the first team to go 0-16 twice?
Well, it'll be 0-17 first.
No, actually, you'll be 0-16 twice first, and then 0-17
first.
Would that bother you? Like, if I razzed you about that, would that bother you, or would you be assigned out again by that time?
Yeah,
the fan in you would be bothered. I'm sorry.
It'll hurt. Okay. It'll hurt, bro.
They're bad, bro.
It'll hurt.
I didn't know Jared Goff
had to call out Jared Goff. He needs to play harder. You tell him, you call him out the week before he plays the Rams, the most pressure game that he'll ever have in his career, and he's about to get banged on. And this is the week you call him out? Oh, Jesus. Rams.
No hat change. No nothing. No big prediction this week. Okay.
Nope. Rams. The spread is 15. They're giving the Rams 15.
Take the over.
Lions are not covering that. Washington at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
You know what? They talk about everybody. The Packers played. The Packers played the Lions, the Steelers, the Bears, the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they straight the schedule ain't crappy, but I don't bring that stuff up.
Where are you going? Are you going back to the Cowboys on this?
Chiefs at Titans.
Chiefs.
I don't know what's wrong with Patrick Mahomes, bro. He looked terrible. He looked like he playing at Texas Tech. Chiefs. Falcons at Dolphins.
Ugh. Dolphins.
I don't pick the Falcons. The Dolphins lost to the
Jaguars. Yeah. I woke up and watched some of that game too on Sunday morning.
Poor them. Jets at Patriots. The heated rivalry.
Patriots.
Mac
Jones could get a win by throwing four passes in the first half.
Hey, or the young kid can get off. Probably
Zach Wilson.
Panthers at Giants.
Panthers, because the Giants are just really bad.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers too. This is probably the game of the afternoon. Bengals at Ravens.
The game of the afternoon is the Bengals and the Ravens?
Yeah, this is a good 1 o'clock game. It's probably the best 1 o'clock game so far.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take the Ravens because I think the Bengals are not as good as everybody thinks they want.
Whoa.
Everybody wants them to be really good. They're not.
You don't like the Bengals?
They're okay.
That's the NFC North. That's the AFC North in you. That's fine. I can see the hate dripping out your ears. That's fine. The Bengals are a good watch, bro. I don't know.
The Bengals are the third best team in the AFC North. So they're better than they used to be. But they're not as good as everybody's kind of making them out.
That's okay, bro. I hate the Vikings and the Bears too. It's okay. You can. I get it. I understand. Eagles at Raiders.
We'll take the Ravens. Who'd you take in that game?
I don't know. I'm gonna take the Ravens. Eagles at Raiders.
Eagles at Raiders. Let's go Raiders.
Texans at Cardinals. Yuck.
Cardinals are gonna be 6-0.
7-0.
7-0? Oh yeah, 7-0.
Bears at Buccaneers.
Bucks. Bears are bad too.
Yeah, all these games are trash other than that Ravens game.
Of course you would take the Ravens, Petey.
Colts at Niners.
Niners.
I don't know. I don't like this new kid. I'm going to say, can the 49ers defense win them a game?
Yes. Against the Colts, they can.
Okay, I'll take the Niners. And then Saints at Seahawks. Ugh. That's Monday night. We don't got to do that one.
Yeah. And the Colts and Niners is Sunday night?
Colts and Niners are Sunday night.
Ugh. We're watching BMF on Sunday night. Then we won't be watching that.
I need your Stars password, please.
Okay, I'll get that.
Go ahead and text that to me after the show. All right.
Oh God.
Petey, welcome, brother. Welcome. 7 o'clock, sir. 7 o'clock Monday. Be here.
Stu said Titans in the upset tonight.
Titans in the upset tonight.
Meh. Titans are about to be down. Titans are about to be down 7-0 in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Josh Allen throws for 150 and a touchdown, and Derrick Henry goes off for 189 and 3 touchdowns. That's what I need. That's fantasy. I need that to happen in fantasy.
Let me look at your score because that's good.
All right. Well, we call it what it is, man. Appreciate everybody for listening today. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to everything Academy Sports Show, that being Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, the YouTube, what you're watching right now. If you haven't liked us already on YouTube, do it now, man. Press that thumbs up, like the stream, and then go ahead and follow and subscribe as well. And if you did all of those things, we greatly appreciate you. Last thing we ask you to do is share, man. Just share the feed. Let's get some more voices in here. We see the count is going up. More and more people are coming inside. So if you're in here and you just don't want to say nothing, man, it's cool. We all family in here. Go ahead and give us your opinions. That's how we meet great people like Petey and all these other guys that's coming in that we don't know personally, but we know as a community here on the Academy Sports Show. So we're just trying to build that community. So make sure you share. I am not trading you, Stu, bro. You want Derrick Henry for
quarterback, I'm sure.
Yeah, for just Herbert. I'm not doing that, sir. You want my number one running back, the number one running back in fantasy, by the way. You want him for Justin Herbert. I'm not doing that. I can't. It's all good, Petey, bro. We appreciate you for your efforts. Thank you, sir. You're a great member of the but
7 o'clock, Petey.
7 o'clock. We are live on this joint every Monday at 7 o'clock. We are here for you. And let's see what this first week of NBA has for us. Let's see what week 6 of the NFL season has for us. And you know we're going to get a headline or two leading into next week's show. Anything else, brother? The WNBA season is over. The Sky won the championship.
Chicago Sky won the championship.
Shout out to Candace Parker. I have no clue what's going on in baseball. I don't watch baseball.
The Braves are up. The Braves are up 2-0 in the NLCS, and the White Sox. I'm sorry, the Red Sox and the Astros.
The White Sox, baby?
Yeah. Red Sox and Astros are tied 1-1 in the ALCS. They're playing tonight. It is the top of the second, 1 out with no score. College football picks back up this weekend. A lot of the Big Ten East teams were on bye weeks. So interesting week coming up here where you got a lot of trap games possibly. You got Michigan, Northwestern. Michigan State barely got out of Indiana with a win. So they got some trap games coming up. The week after, though, next week's show, we do have to preview a big game in our region, Michigan State, Saturday, October 30th. So that will be.
Don't throw it. Yeah, no, come on, just run this touchdown in. Don't throw it in. Just run the touchdown in. Come on, Singletary rushes it. Give him the rush. Stop padding Josh Allen stats.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
All right.
That's it, though.
That's it. So hopefully what the meme comes back next week. You see my handle. You see Joe's handle right under us, man. DM us if you get a good meme so we can be a part of the show. But other than that,
send us something.
I'm good, brother. On behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joel Williams.
Enjoy the rest of your week. Hey, man, I'll see y'all next week. I'm going to Cancun on Wednesday. Talk to you later.
That's what we doing? Okay. All right.
How about? Peace. The Lions will win until they change their colors. Stu is on fire tonight, by the way. Good night, everybody.